Right, we begin in Thembisa, where police are maintaining a heavy presence in the area as protesters resort to looting businesses and shops. Frustrated residents took to the streets on Monday to voice their anger over the cost of electricity and rates. 4 people have died in the protest. The Community Safety MMC is expected to go there and engage with residents today. Let's go to our reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones, who joins us now live from Thembisa to give us an update. Pule, I see there's still a lot of tension there in Thembisa, not that the residents have necessarily calmed down. What is the EMPD telling you about accusations that it's their member who shot the first protester yesterday?
Well, we've been waiting for someone from eNCA to come and speak to us, and we're still waiting even now. But we saw, the early hours of the morning today, how shops were being looted, and of course this Thembisa Customer Care Centre being wrecked apart by some of the residents who are living here, taking material that belongs to this public centre here. And the latest we can now tell you, Masejo, is that Eskom has decided to withdraw its services in Thembisa due to ongoing protests, saying that services will only resume when it is safe for the employees to work in the area. So for more on this, we're going to speak to MMC for Community Safety to give us more clarity regarding this issue. MMC, thank you very much for joining us. Now, we just want to find out something as to the story developing right now. What's the latest, and are you reinforcing more police officials in the area?
Yeah, certainly. I think good morning to you and to your viewers back at home. We are indeed making sure that there's enough police officers on the ground. By far, we have just over 100 officers on the ground. We've got force multiplier from SAPS who have actually just joined us, and we'll continue to make sure that this particular enforcement is realized throughout Thembisa. And I can assure you that right now, currently the executive mayor is in talks with the premier to make sure that we don't leave anything, we leave no stone unturned in terms of safety and security of the people of Thembisa.
And maybe just confirm, we know that 4 people have died. Any more on the death toll?
Not what we know thus far. We can only refer to the 4 that we know of, and maybe it is important to make known to the people that some of these casualties came as a result of ATM bombings that happened in the same premises. I mean, that's one of the issues that we are questioning here, to say no amount of frustrations can justify people now going to ATM bombings, so much so that people end up dying. We are now viewing this in a very serious light, that it has now turned out to be more criminal activities than genuine service delivery concerns from the people of Thembisa.
Definitely. I just want to show you here, when I first got here in the morning, there's a lot of looting that took place, and I saw that some of the services were actually being damaged here. Perhaps maybe MMC, if you can tell us, have there been any arrests yet for the deaths or the arson attacks as well mentioned?
Well, there's no any arrest as yet. You'd recall that yesterday the situation was volatile, but right now, as we speaking to you right now, we've got our police officers on the ground. Investigations are going on. I'm sure you can tell about 31 vehicles from the municipality have been touched. So we get into the bottom of this matter to realize who are those perpetrators, and we can assure you that before end of this week, or rather before end of this day, we'll have actually made movement in terms of bringing those who are responsible to book.
While I was chatting with my colleague Masejo in studio, I just also got to realize that developing stories that Eskom saying it's withdrawing its services in Thembisa. Now, you're the MMC for Community Safety. What does this step, what does this mean? What does it mean for the residents? Because if there isn't any services running, it means residents could be in the dark again, and we'll speak to more volatile criminal elements emanating from some of these communities.
Well, it is indeed concerning. We will have to establish engagements with Eskom to see best they can be able to assist us with the situation as it is right now, because just when I got here, I got to understand that there's scores of some people who are now reconvening to try and destabilize again. So their withdrawal comes at a very unfortunate period, but I'm sure we will engage them and see as to how do we give them protection to make sure that Thembisa continues to be safe, and their services in terms of making sure that there's lights around here, it comes in handy, and it definitely cannot go down well that they withdraw, and we leave it at that.
You're in the MECO team. Many residents here saying you're failing to address them, and they're also saying the mayor has gone AWOL or MIA on them, promising to meet them but not coming, and they feel as though this is the reason why they erupted into this chaos. Do you believe that more can be done from your leadership team? Do you think the mayor will finally come in and speak to them?
Well, look, as we've indicated, initially the so-called Thembisa Community Forum came to the fore and presented their memorandum, presented to the executive mayor. The executive mayor then ensured that there were responses to issues raised. And as a result, the mayor would naturally send her team to come and talk to the issues raised on memorandums. And that team was here on Friday to respond to that. They were not even afforded an opportunity to engage further in terms of answering all of these issues. People demanded to see the mayor. That meeting was collapsed, but we brought the mayor here yesterday. She was here afternoon to engage with community leaders here. So the narrative of her running away from engaging with community is not entirely true. She is here, and she's committed to be here again on Friday to make sure that she addresses the residents of Thembisa.
Are we looking at any elements? I know you said this is part of investigations, but are we looking at any elements of sabotage perhaps?
Well, we are of a view that there's a third hand to this. I mean, even yourself can be able to tell from a distance to say, I mean, bombing of ATMs and torching council vehicles cannot necessarily mean that people are actually complaining about service delivery. We are of a view, from a security point of view, that this has been hijacked, and more so that the community forum themselves were on record yesterday by saying by distancing themselves from these activities. They were very clear that we are not part of this. We don't know who are the perpetuators. Hence why I'm saying we are now on the fact-finding mission to get to the bottom of this matter and see to it that all of those who are involved gets brought to book.
I don't know, maybe it's not your portfolio, but maybe have you spoken about the extent and amount of damage this will cost you as a city, as well as to, is it into the millions? I mean, this is a lot of damage that has been caused throughout the township if you drive around here as well.
Well, by looking at only these vehicles, we're talking millions of rands. But we've just arrived here. The team is on the ground to establish the exact amount, which we will then be able to be able to divulge later in the day. But I can tell you that this is a mess. It's actually millions and millions of rands of money that will have to be recovered, or these resources will have to be back on the ground in terms of ensuring that people of Thembisa get services. Now you have to ask yourself, is this how you fight for your rights?
MMC for Community Safety, that's the Tlhogonolo Museki, speaking to us right now regarding an update on this matter, obviously saying that they will be reinforcing more police officials, but at the very same time saying that they're looking into millions of rands that could be needed to try and repair some of these facilities that have been damaged as a result of the violent protests that have taken place here, but also not ruling out the fact that there could be, what he says, a third hand to this problem that has now erupted, where there was an issue of ATM bombings which resulted to some casualties as well. So they are of the view that intelligence will now be on the ground to ensure that arrests can be made, and they're leaving no stone unturned in ensuring that there is some sense of accountability. Well, Masiho, what I can tell you is that on the ground I've just also gotten a tip off that inside Thembisa is a location where we just got now to say it's really getting out of hand, and protests again have started there. So it seems as though it will be a busy week for law enforcement in this area, but the mayor may also have to now fast track her process of having to come here and address these residents, or else things may get out of control.
All right, Pule Letshwiti-Jones.